Welcome to Mailbox Monday, and in my mailbox for Monday, April 23rd, I've got 6 books this week. Yeah, 6 books. The first 2 were digital review copies from NetGalley.com, and that was The Errant King and, hold on, I have to look it up, The Sword and the Stars. They're 2 books in a new series by Wayne Thomas Batson. I've read some of his books before and really enjoyed them, so I look forward to reading them. I got 3 of the books I got this week were swapped through paperbackswap.com. The first one of those is The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin, and this is the first in the, what was the name of the series? The Inheritance. I thought it was the Inheritance trilogy, but that didn't seem right. So I've been looking forward to read this one. It's supposed to be a really good fantasy book, and I know that the final book in the trilogy just came out, I believe. Let's see if they're all in here. No, they're not. Anyways, so I like nice short series. This trilogies I can read and then be done with, so this should be a fun book. What is it about? Let's see. It says, Yen Dar is an outcast from the barbarian north, but when her mother dies under mysterious circumstances, she is summoned to the majestic city of Sky. There, to her shock, Yen is named an heiress to the king, but the throne of the 100,000 kingdoms is not easily won, and Yen is thrust into a vicious power struggle. So, it's supposed to be a fun fantasy book, which I look forward to reading. Alright, the second one I got through Paperback Swap is one that I kind of found when I was looking for fairy tale retellings, because I like reading fairy tale retellings a lot, and I haven't really heard much about it. I think it was published quite a while ago. Let's see, when was it published? 2007, so yeah, quite a few years ago. Anyways, this one is called The Swan Kingdom by Zoe Marriott, and this is supposed to be a retelling of basically the wild swans, or whatever version you know that fairy tale by. So the synopsis on this one says, when her mother the queen is attacked by an unnatural beast, Alexandra tries every one of her healing skills, but her greatest effort is not enough. Too soon Alexandra's father, the king, is spellbound by a beautiful stranger, a woman intent on having the kingdom to herself. In a terrifying moment, all Alexandra knows disappears, including her beloved brothers, and she is suddenly banished to a barren land unlike her own. But Alexandra has more gifts than even she realizes, and she'll need to master all of them as she's confronted with magic, murder, and the strongest of evil forces. So, the other one who did a retelling of the Wild Swans, or Swan Lake, however you remember that myth, is Juliette I'm gonna butcher her name, Marliere. She did the Seven Waters Kingdom series, and those are a really good retelling of the Wild Swans fairy tale. So I look forward to reading that. It's got a really beautiful cover on it. The other one I got through Paperback Swap, the last one, is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I know John Green's not fantasy, but I really enjoy all of his books so far. Strangely enough, I've read all of his books except for Looking for Alaska, which is his most famous book, but he also wrote An Abundance of Catherines, which I really enjoyed, Will Grayson, and Paper Towns. So I loved all those books. They're always kind of funny and quirky, and they always feature really smart protagonists that have a really sarcastic sense of humor, and so I enjoy that. And it's all young adult, always dealing with teens growing up and facing some challenges. Alright, and then the last book is one that I bought, and I know I'm not supposed to be buying books, but I had to buy this one. This is The Last Apprentice, Book 9 by Joseph Delaney, Grimalkin the Witch Assassin. These are wonderful, wonderful fantasy books. I absolutely love them. They're funny too. They always have this little warning not to be read after dark, especially page 329. In the page they list, something really creepy always happens on that page. So, the books in general are just really nice and put together. Let me see if I can find. They have some really nice illustrations on them, and they're just great stories. So here's one of the illustrations in there. Ooh. Every chapter has some really cool illustration about what's going to happen in that chapter. They're middle grade fantasies, kind of like a horror fantasy, very creepy. But this one is about Grimalkin. So most of these have been about Tom Ward. He's an apprentice to, the last apprentice to one of the monster hunters that goes and spooks not the monster, the spook that goes and hunts down people's monsters for him. Instead of being about Tom Ward, this one is about Grimalkin, and she is awesome. She's been in the book off and on, and she is the witch assassin, and she's been just really interesting character. In fact, she's one of my favorite characters. I like Tom Ward and Alice too. They're the two main characters in the spook, who's Tom's teacher. But she's been a really interesting character because she always has kind of shifting loyalties, and you never know if she's on the witch's side or if she's on the good people's side, or is she on the devil's side, or is she trying to save people, that kind of thing. And so this book is all about her. I'm excited to read it. They're very well written, very good books. So if you haven't read this series and you like fantasy, you should really check it out because they're just very well done. And that's it. That's all I have. Again, I think last time I did a video it was raining, and today again in Minnesota it is 50 degrees and raining. So this is kind of what our spring is like. I hope you guys got a lot of great books this weekend and that you have a great week of reading ahead of you, and I will talk to you next week.